Now let's look at some other types of word problems. And each one of these is a little bit different. And that's one of the problems with these logic problems is not anyone's always exactly the same. So I would like you to try these. Normally I've got these 4 and I ask people to try 2 of them before they go on. But I do want to give you a hint for each one of them. So for this first one, figure out how many weekends there are. I know you haven't read over all of them yet, but when you go to work, and that's my hint, to figure out how many weekends there are. For example 5 here, try to draw it out. So try to draw out that to help with it. For example 6, I'm going to give you a hint to start down here. And for 7, there are kind of 2 ways to think about it. Either 1, set up an algebra problem, so an algebra equation, or work backwards is what I would say. Either one of those to think about it. So what I would like for you to do is to pause the video and give these 4 a try. I think the 2 that are easiest, and it's just an opinion, are 6 and 4. So if you want to give those a shot, give yourself time to actually think about them before you go ahead and come back to the video and we'll work them out. All right, so let's see how we did with these. Even if you didn't get all the way, as long as you attempted and got something on the paper for 2 of these, I'm happy. If you haven't done that yet, please stop and attempt to put something on the paper for 2 of these. That's the only way we're going to be successful in a math class, is to putting some math work on the paper. So for this first one, I've got 2 different ladies making some cookies. So Jamie made 200 cookies each weekend, and Lucy could only make 125. If Jamie has made 1,000 cookies, how many has Lucy made? With a lot of these, probably all of them except for example 6, there's more than one way to think about it. So if you get the right answer, your way is correct. You can always email me if you need me to check over it, but if you get the right answer, your way is correct. So I said figure out how many weekends there were. So if there were 1,000 cookies total and we made 200 each weekend, I'm thinking about that each or per, thinking about dividing that up, that means that there were 5 weekends of cooking. The first weekend she made 200, then 200, then 200, then 200, then 200 to get to 1,000. All right. So if there were 5 weekends, Lucy made 125 each weekend. So I'm going to multiply that by 125 and get 625 cookies. And so that's the answer for this one. With these logic problems, I do need you to put some work down. So we can't just take 625. You did something, you probably typed something in your calculator. So whatever you typed in, just put that on the paper and you're good to go. I'll just go in order. I know I said 4 and 6 are the easiest ones, but I'm just going to go in order of the page. So for this next one, I drew it out. Again, you can work it without drawing it out as long as you put something on your paper. For instance, we're going to be adding a lot, so you can just write that on your paper, and I'll show that kind of as well. Let's see, so our elevator stopped on the middle floor. I know it's not in the middle of my paper, but I'm going to put my middle there. And then it moved up 4 floors. So 1, 2, 3, 4. So it moved up 4 floors. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4. That was that plus 4. Then it went down 6 floors. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So this was the minus 6 there. Then up 10 floors. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So that was the plus 10. The elevator is now 5 floors from the top. So I'm going to do 5. It's going to go up 5 more. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. and that's the top. I'm going to see how many floors there are. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. So there are 13 above the middle, and middle means halfway. That's what middle means. So if there are 13 above it, there are also 13 below it. And then we can't forget to actually add the middle one. So there would be 27 floors. The key was this word middle. If something's in the middle, there should be an odd amount. There should be the same an elevator, because like you can't, an elevator's not going to stop halfway between floors. So that middle floor, there should be the same amount above and below it. And if you just had, like if you could figure out that 13, you just want to show me that work there, that's fine too. You don't have to show me the picture. I know each one of these is different, so please stop if you need to rewatch or email me if you have any questions. So this next one, this is not actually how credit cards work. There is math behind those credit card numbers, but it's not as simple as this, because people could figure out credit card numbers like crazy if it was just this simple. So sum means adding. We saw that before. And consecutive means all in a row. So that's why I said I would start down here. This 4 blank and 3 are consecutive numbers. So 4 plus something plus 3 has to equal 12. 4 plus 3 is 12. So the only number that I could add, 4 plus 3 is 7. So the only number I could add 7 to equal 12 is 5. So this has to be the number 5. I could subtract 7 from both sides and get that. Now I'm going to work kind of backwards here. I know this consecutive deal. So now I have question mark plus 4 plus 5 has to equal 12. 4 plus 5 is 9. So that means the question mark is 3. I'm going to keep working backwards. I'm going to do the next 3. Question mark plus 3 plus 4 has to equal 12. We've kind of already seen this one. 3 plus 4 is 7. So the question mark has to be 5. And now I start to see a pattern. So my pattern was 3, 5, 4. 3, 5, I think this is going to be 4. 3, 5, 4. 3, 5, 4. 3, 5. So that meant A was equal to 5. I thought it was a pattern, so I decided to go with it. And when I fell directly on this 4 that was already given, I knew, yes, it was a pattern, so I didn't have to keep working on that adding and subtracting kind of algebra steps. But you could have kept going if you didn't see that pattern. I think eventually you would have seen it to fill in the rest of them.